Okay. Hello, my name is Taylor Gorsuch, and in this video, I will be talking about the book Road Trip Nation, A Guide to Discovering Your Path in Life. What I really enjoyed most about this book was the personal realizations that not only did Mike and Nathan have to start their amazing journey, but also the individuals they had a chance to interview. Each person on the list of interview all had different roads or paths they took to get where they are now and what they have planned for the future. There was such a huge variety of people, ranging from Rick Allen, the National Geographic Ventures president and CEO, Howard Wright, Nike's manager of the Michael Jordan brand, Beth McCarthy Miller, the director of Saturday Night Live and the MTV Video Music Awards director. And finally, Luann Culvert, Yahoo's queen bee of buzz marketing, just to name a few. I think this is such a great book because it shows individuals who read it that sometimes the unexpected journeys people will take to get where they are not painted or not laid out for you right in front of you for you to take. You have to find it on your own, with or without help. It's never going to be ready for you and laid out flat and tailored to you. You're going to have to tailor it yourself. I would suggest and encourage anyone to read this book, especially those who are having a tough time figuring out how to take that first step on their path. It doesn't matter how old or how young, how much experience you have. It could be great for freshmen coming into college. It could be great for them to really, see the different opportunities and choices that they have in doing whatever they want in life. Or, someone who already has their bachelor's degree and maybe have gone to a master's program or something like that. But even if you're older and you decide this might not be for me, I've done this for a couple of years, but still doesn't light my fire, give this book a read. It really allows the person to open their mind and see the endless opportunities that the world has. And if you put your mind to it, you can definitely do whatever you want. But after having the chance to read this book, I took away countless lessons. I mean, every interview, there was something new that I never really thought about when it comes to creating your own path or your own road trip. But what I really want to focus on are three specific lessons, along with some of the individuals who experienced them as well, and what they thought of it, and how they handled it, and what they suggest to readers like myself of what to do. So the first lesson that this book taught me was the importance of having the ability to take risks. And I definitely know for sure that I personally am not a big risk taker because I tend to think too much about the outcome, whether it's good or bad. And when I do that, I potentially miss the opportunity to take that risky leap. However, in this book, there was one individual who stuck out to me as being a big risk taker. The gentleman, as you see here in the picture, is Paul Shipman, who is the CEO and founder of Red Hook Ale Brewery. He started out like most of us, going to university, Bucknell University, to follow his grandfather and father's footsteps to become a lawyer. Just like everyone else, if we come from a family who has a long line of members who are in a specific occupation, they hope, the next generation takes on the same occupation and it just continues down the line. But in Paul's case, instead, he went on a study abroad trip to France and came back with a different plan. He wanted to bring a new dimension of life to the U.S., and the way he was going to do that was with alcoholic beverages. Nothing wrong with that. We can always use more. His path to building his knowledge of alcoholic beverages and how to build a new business was not easy. But what stood out to me in his interview was the cold hard truth about how challenging it was to start a business. I know I've never been interested in business. Well, I am, but not starting my own business. I mean, I know people who have, and I know how challenging it is and just how much time and effort, like blood, sweat, and tears it takes. And that is something I don't want to do because there are plenty of other people out there in the world who can do it themselves. Some of them might not know it yet, but some of them do. But back to what Paul was saying, it was really challenging. It was hard. It was hell. He said it was the most harrowing experience starting his company. But after he built his company and rose to the top of being one of the largest microbreweries in the country, it allowed him to show his passion for beer, and it allowed him to show the changing, ever so changing world that it's definitely a better world when we have really good microbreweries. So the second lesson that this book taught me was the ever so changing and teeter-totter and just crazy support from your parents. I definitely know through personal experience and through word of talk from my other friends and other family members that pressure from your parents can be overbearing sometimes. It is. It's like, love-hate relationship. Like the support you get from your parents is, it's unremarkable and it's unrelatable, and it's just you can never like trade it for anything other than what they give you and how they support you. But at the same time, it can be transformed into from support into pressure. And I feel like that's what a lot of people, especially going through college and graduating from college, they can see that sometimes support can be, from what like your parents' perspective, it can appear to be support. But if there's just so much of it, it can turn into pressure. And that pressure can really just, it can overpower anyone if there's too much of it. But I don't want pressure to be seen as something negative or support to be something negative, because people tend to see it as like, oh gosh, pressure, or oh no, like they're not supporting me or they're not doing this. And my parents aren't allowing me to do this, or they're telling me to go this way, not that way. But when they tell you to do that, that doesn't mean to do everything opposite of what your parents want for you. It just means that you need to dig a little deeper into finding what you want to do and to definitely build up a sense of independence. We depend on our parents for majority of our lives until we finally get old enough to really, decide and to make decisions and grow up. It can be pretty nerve-wracking, and it can be, people can be pretty hesitant about it. But it's important to, grow up, become more independent, make those really hard decisions, but also keep in mind that your parents are going to support you, be there for you if you need them. But it's up to you to make sure that you are doing what you want to do and what makes you happy. One story that really stuck out to me through this book or interview was Manny the lobsterman. His story about becoming a lobsterman really showed me the importance of doing what you believe is best for you, but not not ignoring your parents, not leaving them out of the situation, not leaving them out of the equation and ignoring what they want for you, but to also keep that relationship strong with them. Because it's tough. It's tough to tell your parents, like, hey, I really actually want to do this instead of, go into this. But no matter what, it might be tough and it might be hard just to tell your parents what your plans are and what you want to do. But you have to work on keeping that relationship strong with them. In Manu's story, after attempting to give college a try, He found a more successful way of making money by lobstering. Even though he was making money and enjoying what he was doing, he really emphasized the pressure that his dad put on him and how basically he was going to live his father's dream, his father's life. And that's where I mentioned that some people will get a lot of pressure on them from their parents because sometimes the parents didn't get a chance to live, their life to the fullest or have the opportunities that we do nowadays. But it's still really important to lay down the foundation of what you want to do, but also keeping your parents in the loop. I understand, like I said, our parents always want the best for us, but sometimes it's better for us to personally find what is best for us individually and on our own. This will help us really develop a great sense of independence. Manny doesn't mention anything about his relationship with his parents, but I learned that it is important to do what is best for you, but still honor the support and the occasional snarky opinions your parents will give you. Okay, and the third lesson this book taught me was understanding that sometimes finding things and identifying things you don't like will help guide you towards things you do like. The interview that was a clear example of this was with Lori Coots, the Chief Marketing Officer worldwide for TBWA Chiat Day. Let's be honest here, I had no idea what this organization was, but with a little research, I ended up watching multiple videos that advertise for top brand companies like Nissan, Gatorade, and Adidas. These videos were so eye-catching and just so engaging and so cool. Then I realized that after watching them over and over again, I spent 30 minutes watching ads. And I might be like everyone else, or I might not be. But when there's an ad that pops up on a video, I try and exit out of it as fast as possible. But the way they created ads on their website was so different and so cool. It actually made me want to watch an ad. But back to the point. Lori gave an example of finding out the things that don't light your fire. In her case, she was in veterinary school, where enjoying it, getting good grades, but all of a sudden it hit her like she was walking into a wall, that this wasn't something she wanted to do. This wasn't lighting her fire. So she dropped out of school since it just wasn't her thing. It wasn't something she could see herself doing. I think that takes a lot of guts. Just to drop everything and do something completely different, start from scratch. Ugh, it's tough to think that people can do that. You put all this time and effort into something and then all of a sudden it just poof, it's gone. Like time to start all over. But sometimes that's the best decision for someone who doesn't really know what they want to do in life. In her interview, she said that sometimes being clear about what you don't want to do is almost as important as being clear about what you want to do. I think this is a really good piece of advice because it is so common for people either in college still or right out of college, like me, oh my god, 2 months, help, to not have a single clue of what they want to do with their lives. But if you find something that just doesn't light your fire and doesn't get you going, like is just a drag and you dread it every day, I mean, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. But it's important to not ignore it. And don't forget it ever happened. It's important to remember it and how it changed you to work towards finding that what does create that spark. If you know I don't know, want to go into marine biology or something and you want to work with like dolphins, very, very, very weird example, but if you want to work with dolphins, but all of a sudden you're like, "I don't know about this. Like, I don't know if I like the water." Okay, that's a really big deal. If you don't like getting in water and if you don't know how to swim, then you shouldn't be a marine biologist. Like, if you like, that's a really weird example, but I think it captures the idea of if there's something you don't like, you really don't like water, and you want to be a marine biologist, it's probably not the best for you, and you need to work towards finding something else. I know I'm trying to keep this reflection kind of organized and on task and everything, but I just want to say that throughout all the interviews in this book, that the path to finding what you want to do in life will most likely never be easy. I mean, there's some people in this book who went to undergrad and then graduate school, got a job, like, ranked up in that job and everything. Like, they're fortunate. They're really fortunate for finding such an easy path. But generally, it's not going to be easy unless you literally have it laid it out, like all ready to go, tailored for you. And generally, that doesn't happen. And people where that does happen, they're happy with their choices. They're happy with the job they're doing. And that's good. But those who just don't like what they're doing, it's going to take time and it's going to take a lot of energy to get to where you want to go. And like I said, those who have a very fortunate path that made it really easy to get where they are right now, that's amazing. But there's going to be paths or roads that will challenge you, that will push you out of your comfort zone, that will get you to think about life choices that are either handed to you or you have to go find them yourself. But that's just a really small and pretty vague and brief example of what the adventure of living life, making the life best for yourself, and doing what you love will be like. So I've really enjoyed this book. I mean, it's opened my eyes to so many opportunities that I've never really thought about and kind of pushed me out of the comfort zone of if you want to go do something, then you should go do it. So I just want to say thank you, especially to Em, for teaching this course and really kind of opening. I know it would open my eyes to the endless possibilities that everyone can have, no matter if you do have your undergraduate degree or a grad student or anything. It doesn't matter your education level. It doesn't matter your like how much experience you have. All that matters is, do you have the passion for this? Are you ready to commit to, all the time and effort and sweat, blood, and tears you might have to put in? Like, are you ready to do that? And if you are, then you're on track to becoming something you never knew existed and having a life that you can be really happy in. But I think it's just really important that people understand that you're never stuck having to do something you don't want to do. Everyone has the same opportunity to go out and chase something that lights their fire no matter what. It could be easy, it could be difficult, it could be just a walk in the park or a run in the Antarctica. I mean, it's just like you never know what's going to happen. And so it's really important to see what's going to light your fire and see what's going to really push you to be yourself and to really discover yourself. So yeah, I just want to say thank you and thank you for listening to my screencast.